The first question I would like to ask you is, by you being a hip hop pioneer in the city of Chicago and the Midwest, what was the hip hop scene like at that time? And when did you first actually get exposed to hip hop?
Well, I got exposed to hip hop like early on. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't even know it was called hip hop, but my uncles was playing the Sugar Hill Gang, and and then we used to watch cable, and I mean we had something called On TV and Spectrum, and they had this breakdancing show on there. You know what I'm saying? Called Breaking and Entering, and we was listening to basically everything that was they was listening to in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like we Chicago like a melting pot. We listen to everything from all the different coasts, and it come to the middle. So we kind of got wind to the break dancers because some of the older brothers in our neighborhood they was rhyming and they was break dancing. They was DJing. I used to DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like I DJ'd. I break danced. I tried to do graffiti. I tried everything as like a little kid because that was like our that's we didn't know that it had to come from a certain coast or this. We wasn't thinking like I was a shorty. I just knew this was the music and I just done it. You know.
Wow, that's really, really dope. I appreciate you sharing that. I mean, it's amazing to see, you go from being a spectator to being a participant. You actually touch multiple elements in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You was DJing, you was producing, you was rapping, to go on to become the legend that you are, especially in the shy.
I was on time. It's like I learned from some advanced brothers and they taught me real quick. And I'm one of those people that catch on real quick because I played drums as a shorty too. Like at 4 years, I was playing drums. So I grew up around my uncles and them playing in bands and stuff. So
Okay, okay. Now I want to ask you this. Now, who were some of the guys that were at the forefront of pioneering hip hop in Chicago? Some of the guys that predated, your era.
oh well, locally, we had like Common, Twister, when he was tongue twisted. Like, but actually, yeah, it's so crazy. It was like we was on the radio too back. We was on the radio, but we wasn't, what I'm saying, big. We hadn't a label hadn't synced us yet, but early on, those brothers they was popping out. We had a lot of local people, but I think the people that had the chance was like the Twister, and then our sister the Brat, she got to get on with Jermaine Dupri. You know what I'm saying? So she had popped out there. Of course R. Kelly. Because we used to do like before we went major, we was already known in the hood, and we used to do talent shows with everybody. So we kind of had a name from the talent show scene because we always came in first place. You know what I'm saying? Over a lot of those people, and then we had people like HMH, U Mind. These cats was they was on the radio and everything, and we used to do these events because we was signed with a little with a indie label, and we used to go to these functions out of town called the Jack the Rapper and BRE. Now Jack the Rapper, it was in BRE, it would be like a big convention at a hotel, and every record label would be in that hotel with their artists. So we get to meet all the artists that were signed, and we are showcased with these artists for a whole week straight. So we would run into, Tupac. We would run into the Flavor Unit. We would run into like Mob Deep. We was like all shorties, like 13 and 14. So we used to see these people, and then we come back to the city like felt like we was exposed already, because we was around all the up and coming artists, the TLCs and everything, and we get to showcase. So that kind of groomed us for the industry. And that was like back in like the early 90s, like 91, 92, on the, BRE and stuff. Yeah.
Man, you named some giants. Big shout out to Common, the Brat, Twister. They are definitely some monumental figures in hip hop for sure. In the short period, man, y'all been holding it down for so long and still holding it down. There gotta be something in the water, man.